we're gonna see how this goes, if I can even see when anyone comes in, because I have never done this before, so this could be entertaining. I might end up deleting this. Um, so we shall see. So far nobody. It's kind of a weird time, which I thought would be a good time to try this out since it's a Monday at 1:18, and I have a limited time before I go pick my kids up from school. So I thought, oh, Debbie, hi. Oh, Flawed and Fabulous. Hello, hello. I was so nervous to do this because I've never done one before. Like a dork, kind of. Debbie, do you see Coffee, Books, and Rain pillow? It always stays right on my couch. Everyone who comes in is always like, that is so you. I'm like, Debbie got that for me. I love it. Hi, Anya. Yay. Okay, people are coming on. I'm so excited. I was like, I'm going to try this out and just see how it goes. I love watching other people's lives, but whatever. I just worked a short day today. I worked till noon, so I came home and cuddled up on the couch with a blanket and just thought I would try this out and yeah, see what happens. So, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully good. Work went by so slow today, and it was a 4-hour shift. It usually goes, oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. So I decided I would, hi Nini. I decided I would curl my hair today for some unknown reason because it is just, hello, like humid here. Kind of, it's not rainy, but it looks like it could rain. But I walked outside and I'm like, all of the curl just fell out of my hair. And I was like kind of sweating at work and I'm like, whatever. So I thought about coming home and redoing it before I go, but I'm picking the kids up from school. I don't even get out of the car. So why would I do that? But yeah. Happy Monday to you. I have to say, like, people are always like, oh, it's a Monday when I'm at work. And I'm like, actually, Monday mornings are my favorite shift to work because there's actually not a lot of people in there. That sounds terrible, but it's true because I'm like task oriented. And so I want to like get things done. And when there's a bunch of customers, I have to keep being pulled away from what I'm doing. And it drives me insane. Like, I wish I could just have a stack job, but they don't do it like that. You have to do everything, be a cashier and everything. So kind of drives me crazy. Hi! Thank you for stopping by. Oh, and Debbie, what are you shopping for at the mall? Like, share. I want to know. I love shopping. I actually haven't done much shopping lately besides at work, which is dangerous. I should not do that. Am I like looking in the right place? I think I am looking at the camera. Ah, from school? Must be, yeah. Ooh, Sephora. I wish we could go to the mall together too. It would be so fun. I know. I can get in trouble shopping too. I actually haven't been to TJ Maxx in a long time, and I was watching Debbie's TJ Maxx hauls. I'm like, no, resist the temptation because every time I go in there, man, you can always find something. Like, you can go in there and just be like, this is the worst thing to do, to be like, oh, I have time to kill. I'm just gonna go in and walk around because I have time, right? No, that's a really bad idea. Never goes well. I would say TJ Maxx is probably one of my favorite places to shop, actually, just because there's a little bit of everything. And they have tons of really good gluten-free food, which is really weird, but like gluten-free snacks, they have like really cool, we find good stuff there all the time, so that's kind of nice. See? Oh, Debbie, bad influence, bad influence. No, only for all the good things, though. I know now I'm like, I think I need a little mini fridge. I do love Ulta too. Yes, the clearance section at Walmart sometimes is amazing. Like, I have gotten the best stuff. And then I was there like a week and a half ago, I think, and I went over, I was like, this is the most pathetic assortment of clearance items ever. It's really weird. So it's definitely hit or miss, but I guess everything's like that. And thrift store shopping is my ultimate favorite, but that's totally hit or miss. You are not sorry, Debbie. Don't even try it. I was so wondering how this worked, like, because I obviously see people like answer back to what people are saying, but I'm like, where am I gonna see that at? What am I gonna, like? Aw, that's so cute. Are you getting the purple one too, Anya? I just think that's so cute. And just the feeling of like when you take even like the little like eye patch things or whatever out of the fridge. Oh, it feels so good. That is gross. Like at TJ Maxx and stuff, how people put their fingers in the makeup. Why would you do that and ruin it for somebody else to be able to get it? That's just so weird. I don't know. Like if you want to know, I get that it's kind of hard to, okay, like by us, TJ Maxx and Ulta are like right down the road from each other. I say by us, that's 25 minutes away. There's nothing by us. But I'm like, you know what? If there was something that I was like, oh, I wonder if that's the right color for me. I like your accent. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'll just finish one thought, but then I'll switch to that. But like, if there was something that I was like, is that really my color at TJ Maxx, and it might be at Ulta, I would rather go test it out there and then go back and get it from TJ Maxx instead of putting my hands in it and making it so no one else can buy it if it's not my color. That's so weird. But on the accent thing, that's so funny. We were just in. Oh, I saw that, Anya. That is so gross. We were down in Tennessee in June, and this family that we're friends with, the girls, they actually watch my videos. They think that I have an accent also. And I was like, what? So they kept asking me to say different words, and they were just cracking up. They thought it was like the funniest thing ever. One of them was salad. They're like, salad. Like, I'm like, what? It's a salad. Like, I don't get it. See, isn't that funny how different areas, a sophisticated accent. I like that. Thank you. I don't know how sophisticated I actually am, but if I can pull it off, I'm happy about that. But yeah, it is so funny though to hear people in different areas like how they talk. So I always like that. There was a girl, I watch her channel, and she had like the first time I ever saw her channel. Hi Delana. Oh yay! I'm so excited to see you. But she was talking and whatever, and I'm like, are you from Michigan? Because you sound like me. And she was like, I am. And it's so funny. She's not that far from me. Should actually meet up with her sometime. She does all sorts of like Walmart and Old Navy and stuff, kind of like try on videos or like haul videos, and she tries on all the clothes. I love that kind of stuff. So, oh yay! What are you filming today? Thank you. You guys definitely should check out Delana's channel. She does not get the love that she deserves. She does, oh my gosh. So like by Halloween and stuff last year, are you gonna do that again this year, Delana? Like different looks like that for Halloween? Or she did like these very theatrical videos that were so cool, like so amazing. And the makeup she does is incredible. I'm like, her channel should be gigantic. I mean, it should like blow up. Actually, I'm gonna, in my next video, talk about you and put like link your channel and stuff, because oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Yay, I cannot wait to see it. Like seriously, I like look for those. It's like mini movies. They're so good. So yay, I'm super looking forward to that then. Oh, well, thank you so much for saying hi. I'm so glad. I'm so glad people showed up. I know I don't have to, but I want to because you're awesome. And I'm like, I'm always like, why doesn't she have more people watching her? She's incredible. And plus your personality is just amazing, Delana. So you guys are just, yay. Thank you, Debbie and Anya, for subscribing. You will not be sorry. I promise. I can't believe I haven't talked about her channel before. So weird. But yeah. I can't believe I've just been talking for 9 minutes and people actually want to listen. And you don't even, like, ooh, Pinkoween, I can't wait for that either. And actually I have some ideas for Debbie and I'll have to talk to you because we were kind of talking. I'm sure she might have already told you. Oh, thank you. I just talk about life. You might appreciate this one. I told Debbie and Anya the other night, but this is so funny. At work, there is this guy, because I work retail, and whenever I'm ringing him up, he comes in pretty often, and he always like really looks at me when I'm ringing him up, and I'm like, just kind of act like I don't notice. And so he was in the other day, and he's like just staring me down, right? And all of a sudden he goes, your eyeshadow is really pretty. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, yeah, it's actually kind of a hobby of mine. And he's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, well, how long does it take you to do it? And I said, well, it depends on what kind of look I'm doing, And I'm like, but I just like enjoy doing it. I turn on makeup, or I turn on makeup. Ugh. I turn on music and I just sit and do my makeup. It's like really relaxing to me, whatever. And he's like, so like on average, how long does it take you? I'm like, yeah, probably like 20 minutes would be like the low end. And he's like, oh, I don't think I'd have the patience for that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. He's like, yeah, I don't think I'd have the patience for that. And suddenly I realized, I was like, girl, get over yourself. He has not been checking you out. He's been checking out your makeup. I don't think he's interested in my type. Let's just say that. I was like dying laughing. The girl that I was working with, when I told her, she thought it was so funny. But I'm like, all this time, I'm like, this guy's like checking me out or something. No, I don't think he really was. He just liked my makeup. So it was pretty funny. Oh, crazy. You never know though, like the people at work, because you get some people who are just genuinely nice. Like people will be like, "Oh, you have beautiful eyes," and then they'll be like, "I'm not trying to be creepy. I'm just telling you have really beautiful eyes." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." But then you have the ones who are like, there's this one guy, and he said it to me 2 different times, and I just like dismiss him really quickly. But he's like, "You got really pretty eyes, you know that?" I'm like, "Thanks." Like, just so weird. I don't know. Like, I'm not really sure how to take it. Like, if you think I have pretty eyes, you can say it like nicely. You don't have to be like weird about it. I don't know. That's I always like to be like, yeah, thanks. I got them from my dad, who I want to say is like 6'5" and 290. Like, come at me. No, I'm just kidding. Well, what time is it? 1:30. I have to pick my boys up from school today. Oh my gosh. Some of you, I mentioned in a video the other day on Wednesday. I My husband called me at work and was like, "Oh, Riley, our 17-year-old, got stung at school by a bee." And he's like, you know, and my husband works at the school, so he had went down and seen it, and he's like, "Yeah, it's red, but it's not that big of a deal." And it was like on his forearm, like right here. And so he's like, I know he keeps coming back. And then he had the office call my husband and whatever, and like, "Yeah, Riley's saying this bee sting really hurts, whatever." My husband's like, "Yeah, I know, whatever." Well, so then he ended up telling him, "No, you have to go to tech," because half the day he rides a bus and goes to the tech center, and he does stuff for IT, like internet technology stuff there. So, of course, as soon as he got there, they ended up calling my husband and being like, "Hey, Riley's down at the office. This bee sting's pretty red and stuff." Well, a girl who used to work at the school where my kids go to school, and I watched her son from the time he was 5 months old until he was well over a year. She, and then beyond that actually, but she actually now works at this tech place. So she was in the office and saw him and sent pictures to the superintendent of our school, because they all kind of know each other, and was like, "Oh, look at Riley's arm and stuff, like, looks pretty bad." So they call, whatever. So my husband calls me at work and is like, "Hey, they want you to, or want us to come and get Riley. Can you go get him?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I was getting off work anyway. So I almost stopped at home first to get something to eat because I was really hungry, and I was like, he can wait, kind of thing. But then I was like, I'll just go get him and then I'll get home and eat. So I drove out there. It's almost half an hour from where we are. And I go into this office to get him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, when I saw him, his nose and like his forehead, red, his nose was huge. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Riley, because his sting was here. So last year he got stung on the leg outside at the school. There's bees out there really bad. And this time he was standing in the middle of the lunchroom. Oh no. Am I froze, or can you see me? Or is everything going good? I don't want to like just keep talking if I'm like suspended. Okay, cool. Well, so yeah, he was just standing in the middle of the lunchroom this time, and he said he was standing talking to somebody, and all of a sudden was like, "Ow!" like something on his arm, and he looked, and he shook his arm, and it fell on the ground, and he stepped on it. And so he wasn't like by a nest or anything, just really weird. But they're really bad this time of the year there. But anyway, last year he had gotten stung in the back of his leg. Kind of, I said his calf, but it actually wasn't. It was like right above his knee, and but in the back of his leg. And it had gotten like really red, and then by like the next day it was bigger, and it was hot and like hard to the touch. And so we had taken him to the doctor, and they ended up giving him like an antibiotic and stuff because they said it was a bee sting that had gotten infected. Okay. Well, now knowing it was like the beginning of seeing his allergic reaction or his allergy that's developing, yay. So anyway, I took him to urgent care, and they like when we walked in, they have you like register and do all this stuff. And we've been there before, but I started telling the girls asking me what's going on, and so I started telling her. I said, "Yeah," and he's saying that his ears are like itchy and burning inside. And she's like, so and so to one of the people, can you please take him right back? And his ears are burning and itching on the inside. He had a bee sting." So I'm like, apparently that's a pretty big deal, like an indicator that the allergy is like, or the reaction is bad, getting bad. So they took him right back. They're like, "We'll take you back once you're done registering him." I'm like, oh, "Okay." So they ended up giving him a shot of Benadryl in the arm, and then poor kid got a steroid shot in the butt. And they told him, they're like, "This is gonna hurt really bad. Like, there's just no way around it." And so anyway, and then they had us sit there for a while just to make sure things were chilling out. They like drew with pen where like it was red to make sure it didn't go outside of it, that kind of thing. And so then they gave us a prescription for a steroid and an antibiotic. So I just give him Benadryl every 6 to 8 hours. Well, we came home and, well, actually, we came home. Then we ended up going to church because we have youth group on Wednesday nights. And we were there, and Riley was like, my husband actually had dropped us off. And so Riley was like, "Hey, Mom, I'm just not feeling good." And his coloring looked really weird and stuff. He was like this weird pale, but almost like yellowish. And he's like, "Can I call Dad and have him come get me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he came and got him, and Asher and I stayed, and then when we got done, they picked us up, and Brian had taken him and gotten him more Benadryl and stuff. And I'm like, "How are you feeling?" And he's like, "Not real good." Well, we came home, and he took his steroid and antibiotic and stuff that he needed to take, and he went to bed fairly early, which a kid never does. He is like stays up late and gets up early. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. I can't do it, but anyway, so he went to bed at like, I think like, well, I say early, for him it is early. I think it was about 10. And I knew, like, I stayed up because I didn't have to work the next day. So I was like, "Oh, I'm staying up. I can sleep in tomorrow." So it was like 1 o'clock when I went to bed. Plus, I was just nervous about him because I didn't like the way, like, he had looked and the fact that he went to bed early and whatever. Well, I'm in bed, and all of a sudden, like, our door opens, and I'm like, What do you need?" Because it's like, it's a mom thing, like, you just know when something's going on with your kids, you're like just on edge. So as soon as the door opened, I'm like, what do you need? And he's like, "I don't feel good." Well, this was at just a little before 2 o'clock, and I came out, and then my husband ended up getting up too, and he was saying his chest was hurting really bad, and he felt like he was going to throw up, and it had gotten like really red and inflamed and hot again, like where the bee had stung him. And his coloring was really horrible, and he kept like thinking he was going to get sick and stuff. And he's like, I feel like I can't breathe good." Well, we were like, "Okay, we're not messing with this." So by 2:30, we're like, "We're out of here." Well, the hospital is like 25 minutes from us. So we drove him to the ER and whatever. And they ended up giving him a stronger steroid shot and kept us there until 5:30 in the morning. And then we came home. We got home at about 6, just in time to wake our youngest son up for school. And then once my husband took him to school, and then we all just crashed. We didn't get up till like almost noon. But they said, like, the guy in the ER, the doctor or whatever, he said that you can't have a secondary like reaction. But I saw some things online that said you can, that they're very rare, but that you can, because the symptoms he was having were like the ones when well, it took like 2 hours from the time he got stung to when it was really flaring up. But now they said like every time he gets stung, it'll be worse, because I guess once you get like an allergic reaction, it just escalates every time. So that was super scary. And so we go on Friday to the doctor to see about getting an EpiPen. So, oh my gosh, like, you think when your kids get older, you can stop like having these worries about stuff like that, like when they get sick and whatever. No, no, just kidding. Like, it never stops. But so I'm so thankful though that now we know, and once we get an EpiPen, then we know like if he gets stung, you know, shoot him and then get him right somewhere. So at least now we know. And like my husband felt really guilty because he kept being like, "You're fine, just go, no, you have to go to tech, you're fine." And he's like, "I had no idea." But how do you know? Hi, Clara. Oh, this is so fun. I'm so excited that you guys are coming on here. Even though I'm talking about boring stuff, but sorry. Hello, Mandy. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. Do you guys have any like questions for me? Anything you'd like to know about me? You know, it's like you do Q&A videos and stuff, but like sometimes I forget. Thank you, Debbie. Yes, it was terrifying. Aw. Oh, yeah, it was so scary just to see him, and he didn't even realize when I picked him up. Oh, thank you so much. It's so funny on the days like when you feel the worst, I feel like, or when other people compliment you on your looks. Isn't that funny? Like that must be a God thing. He's like, girl, I got you, I'll just lift you up a little bit. Oh yeah, if you like think of something you want to know about me, I'm happy to answer. I don't want to say exactly where I work because just because creepers, you know what I'm saying? But it's retail. It's just it's a chain kind of place. So I do like, you know, I'm a cashier and do stock and that kind of stuff. So I actually really enjoy it. Have fun shopping, Debbie. Thank you so much for coming on here. Love you. Yeah, I only work like my ideal, and next week is my ideal work schedule, are like 3 4-hour days. Love it. So yeah, I basically got the job to, well, for one, to get out of the house, because I'm like, Mandy, I don't know, when are you paying for it, girl? No, I'm just kidding. um, you know, I need to get myself out of the house. I could easily be like a recluse, isn't that what is that what you say? Like, I love being home. I'm just a homebody. Yeah, like I could easily go a month and never leave my house, like seriously. So I was like, it'd probably be good to like get out. I mean, obviously I'm not like that totally because I have kids and they're involved in things, so I have to go out and do things. But if I had the choice, like I could easily just stay home. But so I got a job because I thought, it'd probably be good for me to get out. And another big reason, because my youngest son needed like major dental work, like orthodontics and stuff. And I'm like, it's a lot on our finances. So I thought I'd take some pressure off my husband. Yeah, I love being home. I don't know. Like I get overwhelmed by, people are always like, when I say that I am like an introvert, they're like, no, you're not. You're not an introvert. Like you're very social and whatever. There's a difference. Like people who are my friends that I feel comfortable with, I can go and do stuff with them and be my crazy self, whatever. But when there's like a situation where it's going to be like I hate party type things or like big get-togethers, even with my family sometimes. I have a really big family, and like there are well over 50 of us, I think, every time that we get together as the family. Like my mom has 3 sisters and a brother, and it's like all my aunts and uncles, all my cousins, my grandma, like everybody is together, which I love. Ooh, yeah, wisdom teeth, not fun. I actually had a good experience with that, so hopefully yours will be too. Like mine were not bad, and I didn't get put under for mine, so. But I know they do for most things now, so you should be all set, Delina. But yeah, I get like, even sometimes when it's gonna be family, just knowing there are so many people and so many little kids, I get like really anxious. So it's ridiculous and it drives me nuts, but I can't really help it. And so obviously I push through it because they're my family and I love them and I enjoy myself when I'm with them. It's usually even with anything else, it's usually the thought of it that bothers me more than actually being at something, you know? Thank you. I'm trying to think what. Oh, I used the ColourPop Good Sport palette today, and I just did like just a simple kind of orangey gold kind of look. But I can see how it looks in the thing. Like it makes my eyes look really blue. That's why I love orange. It's like my favorite shade because I totally just spit. I spit a lot. Yes, fall sunset. That's like my favorite kind of like look. Yeah, family gatherings can be very overwhelming sometimes. Like just like, oh, I love you people, but oh my goodness. And two, because like my youngest is almost 14. I've been out of like that baby or toddler, like little kid stage for so long that when I'm with everybody, I mean, there's so many little kids and babies in our family. And well, I absolutely love them and like think they're so stinking cute and whatever, but sometimes it's overwhelming to me. Like when kids are crying and whatever, I'm like, oh my gosh, like yeah. Or different situations where it's like you're seeing the parents have to like run after them and I'm like like oh my god, it just makes me like anxious. I don't know. We actually went to Georgia. Well, no, we went to Kentucky. We met our family from Georgia and Kentucky a few years ago. Actually, it's been well more than a few years ago because I think Asher was like 6. But we went to this natural bridge, and my niece, who was the same age as Asher, she's just like 5 months younger than him. She was being like a little stinker, and she kept. I think she was about 5 when we went, and she kept like pulling her hand away. Oh my gosh, I have not wanted to, well, I wanted to do a live chat, but I've been like way too scared to do it. And I was like, you know what? It's a Monday. Nobody will be on here. I'll just try it out. But I'm so excited that people are and like, yay. Um, oh, that is very sad. I'm sorry, Yolanda. That is awful. Oh my gosh, that is the major thing for me, being judged. I think our families a lot of times are our biggest critics. Um, I know in my life, my biggest hurts have been from people in my family who should be supporting me and uplifting me, and instead, some of them, I think they just have a hard time doing that in general for anybody. It's a hard issue of theirs, but it's hard even if you know that, it's hard to not be hurt by it. So that is hard. Um, oh, but the natural bridge. Oh my gosh. So I don't know if any of you have ever been to a natural bridge, but it's like you couldn't even see the ground. Like you just see trees, the tops of trees, and it's a natural bridge made out of like rock. And there's nothing on the sides, like no kind of railing or anything to keep people from falling off. Like it's, I don't know, like it's amazing, but absolutely terrifying at the same time. And my niece was being a total stinker and kept like pulling away from my sister and like ripping her hand out of my sister's and stuff. And my sister was huge pregnant with my nieces. She had twins, but so she was huge pregnant at the time with them. And her husband couldn't come. So it was like, I mean, all of our family, my mom and dad and my other sister and all of us. No, my other sister wasn't there either. But so anyway, my sister is trying to get my niece like to realize like this is dangerous. You have to stay with me. Like you can't. And she's no and pulling away and oh my gosh, it was so horrible. Once we got away from it, I was like, never again, never ever ever. Thank you for stopping by, Mandy. Have a good rest of your day at work. I know you love your job and that makes things much easier. um, but yeah, it was so terrifying. And I kept having nightmares about actually I still to this day have nightmares about it sometimes. Like it was the scariest thing ever. I'm like, never again. I will never do that. There was a man standing like at one part of it, there was like a little ledge, like over the edge of the actual natural bridge. There was a little ledge. Hi, Mandy. Yay. Another Mandy. One Mandy just left and another Mandy just came in. Um, so yeah, it was like this man was standing on this little tiny ledge holding like a toddler for a picture. And I was like, what is the matter with you? Like, there's something seriously wrong with you. I don't really care to ever do it again. Like, it was amazing. But you also rode like a ski lift up to it, which I wasn't a huge fan of either because I think there was a bar in front of you. But still, this kind of thing is just not my deal. Like, flying, I hate flying so much. Like, if we're driving near an airport, I get anxiety. Like, just seeing planes taking off and landing. And so I want to go to Ireland really bad. That has like always been my dream, but I cannot imagine that flight. I'm like, you would have to sedate me. That's the only way I could do it. I don't know. I don't know how to get over that fear. I have a driving anxiety as well, so yeah, that doesn't make life very easy sometimes. Like I'm fine in places I'm familiar with, and like we live in the country. I grew up out here, and I learned how to drive out here. And my driving instructor didn't. I think one day I had to drive like kind of in the city, and he didn't even really make me do that much. He didn't even make me like parallel park, nothing. So I was like, they're amazing, Anya, but I saw one, I'm good. But yeah, so I did not have like any kind of experience with city driving really. And so for me, when like the expressway turns to 3 lanes, I'm done. Like, I'm not driving there. And yeah, places where there's like a lot of traffic and stuff, I don't do it. So, and thankfully, like my husband doesn't mind driving and things like that. I thought one time I was gonna have to do federal court. Oh yeah, I don't think I've never been to St. Louis. I know Atlanta creeps me out with the driving. Thank you. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Clara. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you feel better. Atlanta, Georgia, that is so scary. Just being in the car. Oh, that's so funny, Atlanta. Like, I mean, seriously, it is the weirdest thing. Like, I'm gonna overshare for a second here, but when after I had my oldest son, I decided, because my grandma lived about an hour away from me, and I had been to her house a million times. She moved into the place where she lived the year I was born, so it was all I ever knew, and we were there all the time. So I was like, okay, she loved babies so much, and so she would come and meet me for like my doctor's appointments sometimes, because it was like maybe halfway to where she lived and stuff when I was pregnant with my son. So after he was born, I was like, I want to go and be able to go visit grandma and take the baby to visit her, you know? And so this one day I'm like, okay, I can do this. I had been like talking myself up. Well, I knew this is ridiculous, but I took extra like pants and underwear with me because I was afraid I might have an accident on my way, because my nerves get so bad. Like, I get really hot, like I'll start sweating like profusely and just feel like super sick to my stomach. And that's why I don't like, so I'm like, okay, that's not the worst part. It's I'm so afraid that I'm going to cause an accident and hurt somebody else because I'm so nervous. And so it was just like, oh my gosh, it took me, I mean, I fought myself through it, and it probably took me a good 4 or 5 times before I was like, okay, you can do this. Like, it's okay now, kind of thing. But it's horrible. Like, and I can be talking to myself like, you're being ridiculous. This is, people do this every day. You're going to be fine. I still just get like, yeah. So I just avoid it. I thought I might have to do federal court, and, oh yeah, that is scary when kids might just run out between cars and stuff that are parked. Ugh, yuck. Yes, it's terrible. But I thought I might have to get federal. I got a jury summons or whatever for federal court in Detroit, and I was like, yeah, right. This was years ago. Actually, it was Asher was a baby, and thank you so much. It's the blue, or it's the blue eyeshadow. It's the orange eyeshadow. They make my blue eyes really stand out. But yeah, I was like, I can't do that. Like, there's no way. And so my dad is amazing. And he was like, if you get jury duty, he's like, I'll drive you down there every day. I'll go visit. My grandma lived about 40 minutes or 30 minutes from there. So he's like, I will just take the baby and go to my mom's and, hang out there until you're done and kind of thing. So he had it all set up that he was going to be, taking care of me. That is a good way to do things. I can do it with some stuff, but not everything. Oh yeah, my dad is like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I would do without him. He's so good to me. He like, and my other sisters too. He takes such good care of us. He loves us girls. And one of my favorite things is like holidays or just different stuff when we're all together. Sometimes I'll like look at my dad and I could see him like looking at like my siblings or kids or whatever, and I can just tell like he's so proud, and it's like the coolest thing ever. It makes me so happy. Oh, thank you. I was talking about that. I went outside and my hair, all the curl just fell out of it. Hi, Jody. Yay. No problem. I'm just glad that you even stopped by. Yeah, this has been a long, wow. It's been over half an hour. I cannot believe I've just been sitting here talking. My husband's like, I don't even know how you do it in videos, like where you can just sit and talk to the camera. And I'm like, I picture the people that comment on my videos like I'm talking to them. Like, I picture that I'm talking to you guys. And so it makes it like I'm just talking to you. And so I don't think about like, oh, I'm looking at a camera talking, you know what I mean? And right now I'm like making sure I just look at the camera part and not at my face so I don't, you know, criticize myself. Jody, you can do it because this is my very first one and it's going really well. Oh my gosh, I agree. Like how God must look down at us and just go, you know, like I love you so much and I'm so proud of you. And just, you know, it is crazy like how we look at our kids and are just so like proud of things about them and stuff. And like we know for ourselves like how hard we are on ourselves, and I see my kids be hard on themselves and I'm like, no, you're amazing, like why are you being like that, you know? And I'm sure God feels the same way. And now awkward silence. Well, what time is it here? Well, it's about time for me to go pick my kids up, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I thank you guys so much for coming and like talking to me and, well, talking to me, letting me talk to you. I can't help. I got to throw a little in. And actually, I didn't even bring up God this time. Someone else did. But yep, that will never be something I don't talk about. So you too. Oh, thank you so much, Delana and Mandy and Yolanda and Jody and Anya and Debbie and Clara and Amethyst. I'm like trying to remember everybody who went through. I will definitely do another one. This makes me excited that you guys want to come and interact and stuff. So if you think of things before my next one that you would like to ask me or anything like that that you'd like to know about me, I would be happy to do that. And then I have stuff that I can like talk to you about that you might actually hear instead of me just rambling. But thank you guys so much for being here, and I will talk to you guys again very soon, which I say that at the end of like all my videos, but I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I'll definitely do more, Ashley. Thank you. See you guys later. Bye.